handicapping the quarterback competitions for week one. There are several unsettled quarterback situations. Let's begin with the Saints. Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston. When last we discussed it, Winston was the betting favorite, courtesy of our friends at the PointsBet Sportsbook. What percentage? We don't need to put odds on it. But just, let's go. We got 100 total points. What percentage would you say it's going to be Hill versus what percentage would you say it's going to be Winston? Week one, starting quarterback, Green Bay Packers coming to town.
I'm going to go 55-45 Taysom Hill. You know, it's somewhere in that range. Maybe 52-48. Maybe it's that close, like that type of thing. But I feel like Taysom Hill's, you know, the leader in the leader house here, okay, as far as that's concerned. You know, just in the fact of, hey, he's been there with Sean Payton for, you know, a pretty good number of years now. Payton loves him. This was his project. He showed growth at the position 2 years ago in preseason, and of course showed it last year in going 3-1. And, you know, wasn't the reason they lost that game to Philadelphia. There's a lot of things you can blame on that. So I'm going to go with that and the fact that Sean Payton's going to be intrigued by the new attack on the offensive side of the ball that he can bring to the table with Taysom Hill.
This is the dilemma for Sean Payton.
Yeah.
In one hand, he has the guy that he has crafted slowly and meticulously, the guy that he has whittled out of wood over the course of 5 years. He'll pick up that piece of wood and he'll whittle a little more, and he's created this beautiful work of wooden sculpture that is ready to go. Meanwhile, he's had this crash course clay pot that he's put together in Jameis Winston, and it's every bit as beautiful. And he's got a chance to make a better piece of art if he can reclaim the career of the first overall pick in the draft from 2015. And if you're Sean Payton, how do you choose between which guy? And remember, we said one of the factors is going to be how quickly can Hill or Winston deal with 10 new plays being thrown onto the table the morning of the game. Who freaks out or who just says, okay, I got this. I got this. You want me to do this? We'll do this. It's incorporated, and off we go. I just got a feeling it's going to be Winston.
I know. I've been feeling you're leaning that way lately. So, like, you're like, what are you going to do? What's going to be your number if I do 52?
What'd you say?
I'm going to go 52-48. I think it's closer than my 55-45 initial comment.
I'm going to go 52-48 the other way.
The other way.
And I think it's going to be Winston. I think it's 100% we're not going to know about it until like 3 days before the game.
Right.
But, you know, the one factor for me, who's the defensive coordinator of the Packers now?
Oh, Joe Barry. Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
He's been in Tampa. He's been the Rams.
Where was he most recently?
The Rams, right?
He was with the Rams in 2019 when Jameis Winston put 55 points up on the board against the Rams.
Right.
55 points. 55-40, the Rams won. He was 28 for 41, 385 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 1 interception. And hey, look, would I put it past Sean Payton to have a revolving door? This and you know, I've suggested this as it relates to the Patriots, but maybe Sean Payton would say, I'm just going to pick the guy each week that gives us the best chance to win, and you're going to have to spend time preparing for both guys, and you'll find out on Friday who the starter is. Team that we're about to play. Good luck preparing to face the New Orleans Saints this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either. Maybe especially early in the year, I wouldn't. I think both of these guys can handle it. Maybe he would, you know, have a little package for whoever the backup is, and you know, bring it in to be a curveball. I wouldn't put anything by him that way. I would not. Yeah, it's going to be you laid out a good case.
Close.
What's that?
Yeah, for week one.
Yeah,
week one. Packers.
Right.
Here comes Joe Barry.
Right.
Welcome to your new job, Joe Barry. Here's a guy that put 55 points up on your defense 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's a good thought. It really is. And we know Winston has the capabilities to be a really special quarterback. He does, and he's got more experience playing the position, of course. Taysom Hill's got some special qualities too, but has not played the position nearly as much as Jameis Winston. So, you know, I think you're right too. I like your point about, being able to handle offense or new things in a hurry, and hey, I gotta throw this in on a Friday practice right now, and come on, we got to get it, and we got to hit the ground running and practice it and execute it all the right ways. I do think there's going to be, that'll be a big part of this.
That's not a factor week one.
No, it's not week
later
one.
In the year, as Sean Payton is watching all the things happening around the league, looking for ideas, constantly churning and thinking and brainstorming and being creative, and that's when he comes up with, a handful of new plays that somebody's got to figure out how to run. That'll be more relevant as the season unfolds. Broncos, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock. Give me your percentage there as to who the week one starter is.
I clearly think there is a higher upside with Drew Lock. I really do. I think you have a chance to be a much better football team and really dangerous if he can grow at that position and play a little bit better and cleaner and not be so overly aggressive and all of those type of things. I got to think he's got a little bit of an edge going into training camp and those things, but I mean, it's minute, because I would think a guy like Vic Fangio is right up. I mean, Vic Fangio, like a guy like him, like Teddy Bridgewater's right up his alley as far as the type of quarterback. Okay, he's not going to make mistakes. I know what he's going to do. I can play defense, manage the game the right way, and we'll win it that way. And listen, defensive coaches, in my opinion, think like that a little too much at times, to where I want to just go, man, then it's just all about your defense and managing the game. The quarterback's got to make some plays. I'm going to go with Drew Lock, but it's like I'm going to go 51-49. I really think this is one that will be settled on the field, preseason, training camp, and will be closely watched. I think this is going to be a real tight one, but I'm going to give Drew Lock the slight advantage.
When Vic Fangio says, hopefully we'll get them a lot of preseason snaps and the decision will be made easy, that to me pushes the needle toward Teddy Bridgewater, because I think the things that have kept Drew Lock from becoming the guy that we thought he would be a couple of years ago will manifest themselves in the preseason and make it easier to say Bridgewater. I'm going to go 60-40 Bridgewater.
You're going to go that
starter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know.
Yeah, I am.
It's Mike, I thought about giving Bridgewater the advantage too. I guess in my heart of hearts, I feel like you do a little bit, that Vic Fangio is going to favor Bridgewater. I guess I'm playing the angle a little bit of, I don't know. Drew Lock has more of a talent to get the most out of that talented offense and receivers. That's where I guess I really struggle with it. But I see your point there. And I could see Bridgewater really being in the favor of that defensive-minded head coach.
In New England, for some reason, Pete has put 4 names in front of me: Cam Newton, Mac Jones, Jarrett Stidham, Brian Hoyer. Sorry, Stidham and Hoyer, you both get zeros. Between Jones and Newton, how do you divide up the 100 percentage point pie?
I think I'm going to go like 80-20 here, Cam Newton, almost. I don't think New England's the type of place, of course, that we both know this. They don't really want to play rookies, no matter how impressive they are, especially at quarterback. I do think New England's into the framing of the team, as we've talked about so much. Cam is a strong voice and a great leader for their team. I do think they're realistic about what happened with Cam Newton last year and all those type of things. So I think that really it would take a kind of a monumental, collapse or really horrible play. Maybe a few games like we saw from Cam Newton last year. If he did that again, Mac Jones is coming in. I can tell you that. If he starts throwing, one hoppers on 10-yard outs to receivers and things like that, we're going to see Mac Jones. But I think they're going to do their best to let him stay on the sideline, develop, and they'll ride it out with Cam one more year.
They got 3 games before Tommy comes back to town.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think it's going to be Cam Newton up first. I won't be surprised if we see Mac Jones at some point in the first 3 weeks as they decide who gives us the best chance to beat Brady in week 4, and then try to build momentum beyond that if they can beat Brady and the Buccaneers. I agree with you. I'll say 80-20 as well. I may even go a little higher than that. I'll go 82-18. Do some math there pretty quickly.
Pretty good.
82-18. In the favor of Cam Newton. Andy Dalton, Justin Fields in Chicago. Sorry, Nick Foles. Dalton versus Fields. Who's starting when the Bears go to L.A. to play the Rams?
I'm going to go 65-35 Andy Dalton, but I feel like it's something that can be chipped away at in a hurry. I do. And out of all these guys, like you talked about, implementing like a one guy into a series or something like that, to me, this is the one that makes like the most sense. Hey, Andy Dalton, you start. I think we talked about this a little yesterday or whatever. Hey, Andy Dalton, you start the game. Oh, hey, we went down and scored a touchdown. Hey, you get another drive. He drives down again. Oh, wait, we went 6 and out. hey, let's bring Justin Fields in. We got a little package of plays for him to run the ball, do some things. We've set up a game plan, real easy completion for him just to get comfortable that way. I think I would err on slowly and definitely indoctrinating him into the game early on in the year. And then maybe if he got to a week 3 or 4, then I start to go, wait, he's pretty good. He's running the ball really good. We've seen growth in the pass, and the game's not too big for him. And then maybe you start to ride with Justin Fields. But come on, we know what Andy Dalton is, and we know he's not the future. And let's get this guy ready, the number 11 pick of the draft.
I love seeing the trains go by in the background of
cool.
the practices. It's awesome. You know, I
maybe I
should be Fields in my view.
Yeah,
it should be Fields in my view. I keep being agitated by the Matt Nagy experience with the Chiefs in 2017 when Mahomes sat the whole year, but I just think that they're going to see that Fields is clearly better. The things that made them trade up to get Fields will manifest themselves on the practice field, and I think the locker room will be like, what the hell are we doing?
I think so too.
Sorry, Andy. Justin Fields is the guy. Hey, Ryan Pace, you were right to trade up. He's the guy. Let's go win with him. Mike Glennon got 4 starts in 2017 when Mitch Trubisky was the 2nd overall pick. I don't think that helps anybody.
So,
all right,
but week 1, though, what are you going to put? What's your number you're going to put? Because it's week 1. I know. Like, if you asked me week 5, I probably would have changed that number drastically and it'd been really close. But it's week 1.
I'm going to sit right on 50-50.
Okay.
Take that.
Okay, fine. Good.
50,
you sure
50.
you don't want to go 49.9 and,
50-50.
Okay.
There is no preponderance of the evidence. All right, last one. Very quickly. Garoppolo or Trey Lance?
Oh.
Your San Francisco 49ers. What did Kyle tell you on Sunday about
Oh,
that?
he told me they're coming out with a whole new attack, okay? And you're never
George Kittle.
Yeah. George Kittle at quarterback. Lance is going to tight end, actually. It's a shocking move. No, I mean, as far as starting then being the week 1 starter, I mean, I'm going to go similar to what I feel about the last one to a degree. I'm going to go a little stronger here and go 85-15 as far as week 1 starter and all of those type of things. Yes, maybe 90-10 Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Trey Lance will have to do something extraordinary to get on to at least start week 1 or something like that. But I do think there's going to be a package, for him too. You trade away 3 first-round picks. There was all this talk. I have a hard time thinking he's just going to sit there on the sidelines the whole time, the whole year, that they're going to get him used to playing in football, give the fans a little taste of the number 3 pick of the draft and all of that. At least that's how I see it playing out.
I still believe that all this chatter about Jimmy Garoppolo is aimed at getting trade value for him. They're going to hold out hope that somebody somewhere tears an ACL other than Garoppolo, and they can unload Garoppolo and his contract onto them. If Lance is the guy that they thought he was when they made him the 3rd overall pick in the draft, he should be the starter week 1. And I think that the rest of the stuff is just noise. It's BS. It's posturing. I'm going to go 80-20 Lance.
Okay. Wow. Going strong there. I mean, listen, I don't think your thought's crazy there. I have absolutely no feel for what my buddy's doing here or thinking or anything, okay? As I've stated many times before, we stay away from these type of conversations. We do. He doesn't want to tell me because I got a big mouth. I'm going to say it on TV. So I don't know. But we'll see. And I know I think you could be right, though. Maybe, yes. If somebody did tear their ACL and they felt like, wait, Lance has really come along and he feels comfortable, they might just go, screw it. See you, Jimmy G. We're trading you, and we're riding with the number 3 pick.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.